Hey UConn Nation, it's KK Arnold here. If you're looking for the latest UConn women's basketball content, go subscribe to listen up to Phil and Ryan. Go Huskies!
Just when I was getting ready to ask you, Ryan, if you think the big man, they call him the fat man, Santa Claus, is visiting UConn this year. You know he is, Ryan, but we have a game recap to go over. Look, like I say all the time, we do apologize for the late episode, but hey, this is kind of like a kickback, a sit back and relax kind of game for UConn. Just like I figured it would be for Ryan and I to kick back and relax and come on a little bit later than usual. So, Ryan, we know Husky Nation is going to bed or they're already sleeping right now. As I always say, we hope that they will catch this video in the morning. Please subscribe, like the video, man. It goes a long way. We saw a big difference in that last episode, Ryan. I told you about that. So, please like the video. That goes a long way, guys. And we're hoping that they will catch this video Thursday morning. All right, Ryan, here we are late Wednesday night. The game, let's just shout out to this TMU team, first of all. I wanted to shout out to their coaching
Yeah.
staff, Ryan, and the TMU team for just saying yes, that we will play UConn. And boy, what an experience and what a memory to always cherish for the rest of their lives, especially for Aaliyah Edwards. What a great memory. And to have Ryan, to have young kids, come up to you that look up to you and you sign their basketball or their jersey, their shirts. I mean, what a feeling, right? Well, I mean, how could you not like that, Ryan?
I'm really glad that, like you said, that Toronto Metropolitan agreed to play UConn, and as my understanding, it was that UConn was supposed to play Pittsburgh instead, but
Mhm.
I think Pittsburgh got a new coach and they declined the request, so UConn had to change their plans, and of course went up to all the way up to Ontario to play this game. So quite a long flight, but I'm really glad. I'm sure all of UConn Huskies Nation is really glad for Aaliyah Edwards to finally return home to Canada and be able to play this game. I know it was a really special night for the team, but most importantly, Aaliyah Edwards, and for all of the fans up there as well. I know there's a lot of Paige Beckers, Aaliyah Edwards, and just UConn fans all the way up in Ontario as well. So definitely a very special night all around.
All right, so originally we'll get down to the game recap. But originally, you had me stuck with the game recap, which is totally fine. It's not like you doing it, right? But it's something. So no, I appreciate you for that. And then hopefully I do provide you with all the information that you need to analyze. Hopefully, I know we had enough time for you to look over your own stats and information. Hopefully, you don't hardly need anything. Hopefully, I do a well enough job, and you can analyze this information after I'm done. I have a lot. I have a lot. So here we go, Ryan. It was the TV broadcast was on FS2. I told you about that. And to clear things up, this was nothing towards the net rankings, but the stats did count. I wasn't aware of that. So
Yeah.
we also know I had it marked down here. I was like, I had to tell Ryan this, just remind him, not everybody else. We also know, Ryan, that March counts as well, right? The month of March. All right. First quarter, Huskies jumped out to an 18-0 lead. Ryan Arnold was making it hard for Toronto to get the ball past half court. That was a job well done on the press. UConn pressing a lot tonight. TMU took over 4 minutes to score, but they did get on the board. Shout out to Katrina Garvey. It was 18-2 UConn at that point. Garvey hit a three, accounting for TMU's first 5 points of the game. It was three threes for Shade. She continued, Ryan, right where she left off, red hot. The end of the first quarter, 39-5 UConn. Second quarter, everyone did play in the first half for UConn, Ryan. At halftime, it was 68-9 UConn. Third quarter, the Huskies outscored TMU 27-17. So shout out to TMU. They did a great job coming out of halftime, making it more competitive. It was a much more competitive quarter. End of the third, 95-26. And then DeBerry and Betancourt, Ryan, they had their first field goals in a game. I had to tell Ryan this since March. All right, since March in the fourth quarter, and then the final score rather was 111-34. Final Huskies over TMU. Ryan, it was the same starting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was Nika Mule, KK Arnold, Paige Beckers, Ashlyn Shade, and then you had Aaliyah Edwards, of course. Just a couple shout outs. I love to see it in a game like this. Usually I don't do this, but and then you can go. I was looking all over social media and tracking what everyone was saying about the game. So shout out to Chelsea Sherrod. She goes, ready for the Aaliyah Edwards show. Very fitting that she scores the first point in Toronto. We talk about it all the time, Ryan. Sports, it's a beautiful thing, isn't it? Maggie Benoni, Ryan, our friend Maggie Benoni, really cute moment during the singing of the Canadian national anthem. Aaliyah Edwards was mouthing the words while standing in line with UConn. Here's another one for Ryan. Gabby Hurlbutt. The UConn women have a great core of freshmen on the team. Excited to see how they develop. So, Ryan, that's that. Had to change it up for you a little bit. Not a lot on the game recap, but again, as you see, it's still something very special.
Yeah, and just to clear up, because I was kind of confused before this game actually happened. This game did count towards UConn's win and loss records, so UConn
Okay.
does move to 9-3 now officially. I believe a 5-game winning streak now, so that's something there.
Yeah.
But this game does not count towards UConn's net rankings for the
Right.
consideration in the
Mhm.
postseason seeding, since Toronto Metropolitan is not an NCAA team. So just wanted to clear that up, because I know we were both kind of confused before this game started. But tonight, seventh largest margin of victory in program history for the Lady Huskies at 77 points. UConn set season highs in total points scored, field goals made, 3-point field goal percentage, steals, and assists. Now, I realize the competition, the level of competition was not very high for tonight's game, but it is still worth noting and recognizing how well the team is playing right now. And they're really at a very good spot going into the holiday break. Three Huskies scored 20 or more points in this game, including Aaliyah Edwards, of course, who posted a 26-point, 10-rebound double-double. KK Arnold scored a season-high 21 points, I believe, on 10 of 12 shooting. I really liked her aggressiveness. She is so lethal when she drives to the lane, gets the ball inside. Ashlyn Shade, another great night, like you said, scoring 20 points, including 4 3-pointers. She just has the hot hand right now, and it's great to see Ashlyn and KK really shining, playing great basketball in the starting lineup. And like you kind of mentioned, I think it was good that all the players on the bench got decent minutes tonight because of the score. Amari
Yeah.
DeBerry, 15 minutes, and Ness got 18 off the bench. And I really like Caden Samuels as well. She got 20 minutes off the bench and scored 18 points, including
Mhm.
3 3-pointers from her on 7 of 9 shooting. So it was really incredible to me, as I was watching the highlights, to see how well everybody on UConn really shot the ball tonight from three, from the field, just everywhere. Seemed like they really couldn't miss, especially in that first half.
All right, Aaliyah Edwards and company. It was their time to shine, and it was actually just all the players out on the floor tonight, Ryan. Everyone shined, even on the TMU team, right? So it was just a night to shine. And now I'll tell you what, Ryan, and now it's time for our subs, our subscribers to shine. And it's the favorite part of Ryan's show. Let's go over to Jason D'Amico right away. He goes, Shay was clutch tonight. She is so efficient with her movements and her shots. So impressive. Also, I think one of the most underrated players of this game was KK. KK did things on the court tonight that you wouldn't see on the stat sheet, but was absolutely essential to win. Her hustle on defense was great tonight. Yes, she had her had 4 fouls, but they were hustle fouls, and 2 of them were terrible calls. Her quickness on offense allowed Aubrey Griffin the opportunity to score points and get rebounds as well. I'm very happy with her play. Great recap, fellas. Peace. Just to clear it up, Ryan, this is the episode from Shade Has Career Night. Huskies down Butler in Big East Showdown. That was the comments from that episode. Very quickly, before you talk about Jason D'Amico's comment, just, I want to put the spotlight heavy tonight, right? Heavy on um, Aaliyah Edwards, since this was her time to shine, especially in her hometown. Talk about with the Huskies. I mean, I have, the faith, the confidence, but very quickly after you go over his comment, what's it going to be like, man, after Aaliyah Edwards is out the door? I mean, we talk about the size factor and stuff. People think that, they're in bad shape now in the post. Aaliyah Edwards is one of the best, if not the best, at that position in the country. Truly believe that.
Yeah, well, we're first starting off with Jason's comment, and like I said, it really KK and Ashland, it's really incredible to see how well they're playing. I mean, we can't really express how well they're actually playing, and they don't really look like freshmen. It's just they just seems like they have the hot hand right now. It seems like they can't miss. They were perfect for I believe they were both perfect from the field in that first half. So, like I said. Well, that was for tonight's game, of course, but against Butler as well, they played really great basketball. So it's good to see they're both in the starting lineup, and like I said, for them to just be playing at the level they're playing at, really great to see. And for Aaliyah Edwards tonight, of course, it was her night. And yeah, I mean, it really for Aaliyah, it's gonna be really disappointing when she has to leave. Of course, her time is up in UConn after this season. But I mean, hopefully we get to see Ayana, return next season,
Yeah.
and of course John L. Alfie, who was going to play a really big role in this season as well. So hopefully next season we get both of them back, and of course Ice Brady will, go. Sitting behind Aaliyah Edwards, I guess, for most of this year, and so hopefully she gets a lot of playing time as she develops, and hopefully she'll be even better for next season as well.
Okay. Mike goes, best intro ever. Good to see you guys smiling. Yeah, we always try to, right, Ryan? Don't worry about that AP poll. Just wait till they beat the Gamecocks in their home court. Oh, Ryan could go on until the sun rises about this comment.
Well, it kind of seems like that's what's going to happen if UConn wants to shoot up into the rankings again. Of course, they have a couple of games with Marquette. I know they still have to play Creighton and Notre Dame. So if they win those games, I'm sure they'll shoot up a little bit in the AP poll rankings. But of course, it's not really all about where they're ranked in the AP poll. It's just really unusual to see them really drop out of the top five, even the top five, if not the top 10. But to see them out of the top 15 and have that 17 next to their name is just unusual. But if they do win a couple of these big matchups coming up, they could get close to the top 10 again.
Again, we read everybody's comment. Please keep commenting away, and hopefully, I will get to yours sooner or later. We don't have time to read all of them. How about Lindsay Matthews? We haven't heard from her in a while, Brian. She goes, Phil, I think you made an excellent point. You said that UConn in the second half, excuse me, you said that UConn in the second half and made the changes that needed to be made to pull away and win. Most games are won in the fourth quarter, but if a team isn't smart, isn't paying attention, and determined to win, they will continue the pattern of mistakes. Yeah, Ryan. I mean, well, Ryan knows I'm not bright all the time, right, Ryan? But I try to make some good points every now and then.
Yeah, and I think that's really what separates UConn from a lot of teams is being able to finish in the third and fourth quarter, and that is the way a lot of these games are kind of gonna come down to is the second half of play. So that's why we said, we'd rather have UConn start a little slow than rather than end a little slow and really blow these leads that they do continue to build up throughout the game. So as long as UConn, continues to finish strong in the second half and really pull away from these teams, that's definitely a good sign to see.
Okay, I appreciate it, Ryan. How about time for one more? Let's go. I know I told you, Ryan, that this is our subscribers' time to shine because look, man, this is without them, and we will have a moment for them at the end of this episode to thank them so much. The holiday season, it's just right around the corner, Ryan. Adam Edmonds, is it concerning at all that AZ, Ayana, and Caroline were all absent from the game? Maybe just an early start on their Christmas break?
Yeah, it could be. I actually saw this comment. I was thinking about it. I think you know, in my opinion, it might be more of just AZ and Ayana. I know they just recently both had surgeries, I believe. So it could just be, you know, them getting ready for holiday break, but also as well, maybe they're just both focusing on going into rehab and making sure they're staying healthy, and of course getting healthy for the next season, and making sure that they're able to make a full recovery. And I think for Caroline as well, it's really interesting because hopefully she can even play again at some point this season, but it's kind of just up in the air right now. But it's really unfortunate for her because obviously she really is a good basketball player. She had a great freshman year, and unfortunately, since then, with these head and neck injuries, just hasn't really had the opportunity to make an impact. But I don't even think she's cleared to be with the team, traveling with the team because of her head injuries. So really unfortunate for Caroline.
All right, one more, Ryan. I know I keep saying one more. They're all so good. We appreciate everybody. The only negative thing I can say is the same thing I said last game. Why are Amari and Ines only getting 2 minutes of playing time? Surely Gino could have put them in earlier. Just a point. Only being able to question two players playing time as the only negative is really digging deep. UConn is playing extremely well right now, and that was from US veteran.
Yeah, and I don't really think Ines and Amari really have to play it unless we get a score like we did tonight, or if the game is really, you know, out of hand in the fourth quarter. I just don't really think there's room, if I'm being completely brutally honest, for Ines and Amari. Of course, you know, Amari is a big presence. I know we talk about her a lot and how we all want to see her get more minutes for this team, but unfortunately, it just doesn't seem like that's going to happen, even though UConn could use her big presence inside, especially this season, and of course, the couple past season as well. But I just don't really think, you know, I think kind of Gino has figured out what lineup he wants to use. It seems like it's working pretty well right now, especially the last 5 games for UConn. So I kind of expect the lineup to stay the same for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, moving on from comments, Ryan, to toward the end of this video, you talk about, I heard them mention this on the radio. You talk about two ranked Big East opponents coming up on the schedule when they return from break. You have New Year's Eve, December 31st, when you and I return as well for the last check-in, possibly next Wednesday or Thursday. And then you have Creighton. You know, you travel to Creighton. So Marquette comes to UConn and then Creighton. What do you make of this? I mean, because these are two tough opponents, especially number 18 Marquette. You've been paying close attention to them, watching highlights, breaking down film of Marquette. Just very quickly, again, we don't want to get into too much discussion about Marquette because we want to have a last check-in next week. But then they also play a tough team in Georgetown. And I know that there's been rumors about you and I possibly making a trip down there. Hopefully, we're crossing our fingers down to DC to see that game and to see UConn again in person. That's January the 7th. So, but again, especially the Marquette and Creighton game, I think that I love the idea that Gino and everybody was able to agree on this TMU game because not so much the score, but what it did for UConn. Because as we know in sports, sometimes an extended break can be too dangerous. I really like that they was able to come out here and put up 111 points only due to the fact, hey, you have Marquette and Creighton coming up on the schedule.
Yeah, I think anything, what this game was, of course, it did count as a win, but if anything, it was a real boost to confidence for really just the whole roster. Every single player that played tonight, or
Mhm.
basically everybody that was available to play who wasn't injured, just a huge confidence boost for the whole entire team. But yeah, Marquette and Creighton, we knew coming into the season that they were going to be the two toughest opponents in the Big East. Marquette sitting at 11-0. They have a big game. It'd be today, Thursday. They play Bucknell, so probably expect them to be 12-0, or unless something crazy happens. So Yeah, I mean, Marquette's a really good team. I think they have a lot of returning players, couple seniors. Creighton, obviously, a really good team as well. So that's going to be two really tough back-to-back matchups. It is, of course, in UConn. Marquette comes to UConn, and then UConn travels to Creighton. So those are going to be two really tough back-to-back games. So it's going to be interesting how the Huskies handle both of those for sure.
All right, Ryan, here's to the best cousin in the world. All right, Ryan, yes, I'm talking to you on this. I appreciate you a lot. And listen to this, Ryan. The holiday season is a perfect time to reflect on our blessings and seek out ways to make life better for those around us. And look, we can't appreciate you guys enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy holidays to everyone, to our subscribers, to the non-subscribers. Happy holidays to everyone. And we will see everyone next week on the last check-in. Ryan, actually, to switch it up before we end the video and head into the holiday season, why don't you end this episode? Go ahead and tell them how thankful you are, and I will shut my mouth for once and let you talk to them and hit the stop button.
Yeah, but just like Phil said, of course, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody. Appreciate all the support as always. It's been another great year. Hard to believe Christmas is now four days away. It doesn't seem like 2024 is just around the corner. But again, thanks to everybody who watches. We'll be back for the last check-in. Two Big East matchups coming up. It's been Phil and Rye on Listen Up.